And a family is grieving and searching for answers after someone shot and killed Khapri Alston. This happened in Dalton, and so you may remember that name. He's a former professional basketball player.
Thursday, May 21, 2026. Dalton, Illinois. It's late. The kind of late where the night feels thick and the music spilling out of the Rucker Cigar Lounge on Martin Luther King Jr. Drive sounds real good. People are out front, laughing, relaxed. A man who once held a single-game rebounding record across 2 entire NCAA divisions is standing right there, just living his life. He has no idea it's the last night he ever will. A verbal dispute breaks out. Nobody knows exactly what was said. What we do know is it escalated fast. One man pulled a gun. And before midnight, that man with the NCAA record, the international MVP title, the 2 kids waiting at home, was gone, pronounced dead, right there on MLK Drive. By the next morning, police had a suspect in custody. 24 hours. That's fast, right? And then, nothing. No name released, no charges filed, no statement. Just silence so loud it almost sounds deliberate. But here's the part nobody is talking about. The suspect allegedly has political connections so deep in this town that the family isn't just worried the case is stalled. They believe it's being buried. If you've ever trusted a broken system to protect someone you love, stay right here, because this story is about to hit different. Subscribe right now, not for the algorithm, because stories like this one, about real people being failed by the very systems built to protect them, need witnesses. If you still won't subscribe, go to the comments right now and tell me exactly why you're comfortable risking it. Why you're okay missing a story that could one day protect your own life, or the life of somebody sitting right next to you. Stay until the very end. Before this story closes, I'm giving you a safety tip that could literally save your life in a situation exactly like this one. Because the real question here was never just who pulled the trigger. It's who has the power to bury a murder. And is anyone actually safe in a town that lets them? Welcome to True Crime Footprint, where we unveil the darkest mysteries and the most terrifying true crime tales. Kindly hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any of our new stories. Your support keeps these stories alive. Before we talk about how he died, let me tell you how he lived. Khapri Alston grew up in the Chicago metro area. By 7th grade, he already knew basketball wasn't just a hobby. It was a calling. He took that fire to Thornwood High School in South Holland, Illinois, where coaches and scouts started paying close attention. From there, he earned his way to Midwestern State University in Wichita Falls, Texas. And that's where things got historic. January 23, 2016. Khapri pulled down 25 rebounds in a single game against Angelo State, 25. That wasn't just a personal record. That was the highest single-game rebounding total across both NCAA Divisions I and II that entire season. One game, one man. After college, he didn't stop. Argentina, Chile, Uruguay, Bolivia, Indonesia. The United Kingdom. In Chile, playing for Club Deportivo Valdivia, he led the entire team to a national championship and was named League MVP. Fans called him Mr. Double-Double, because every single night he delivered. Off the court, he was a father to 2 young kids, a son, a daughter. He was the best man at his own father's wedding. He mentored youth in his community. He showed up for people. And his father, Pastor Khapri Alston, knows something about showing up too. A man who once faced incarceration and every system designed to hold him down, he wrote a memoir titled God Met Me Here, A Journey to Freedom. He became a pastor, a leader, a father who raised a champion. And now that same father is burying his son. A man who conquered 5 continents, who came home, who was just standing outside a cigar lounge on a Thursday night, gone. But what about the man who did it? And more importantly, what about the people who might be protecting him right now? Here's what we know. May 22, 2026. Less than 24 hours after Khapri Alston was shot dead, Dalton police had someone in custody. That's fast. That's actually the system working exactly how it's supposed to work. Except, no name was released, no charges filed, no press conference. The Dalton Police Department went completely quiet. Khapri's parents sat down face-to-face with the mayor of Dalton, the chief of police, and the lead detectives. They were told justice would be a process, that the family needed patience, that things were moving forward, and then those same officials stopped returning calls entirely. Complete silence. But here's where it gets really interesting. Pastor Khapri Alston went public. He told anyone who would listen that the person sitting in that custody cell is not some random stranger off the street. He alleged the suspect carries serious political connections, money, commercial assets. Real reach inside the very system now responsible for investigating him. And then there's the detail that changes absolutely everything. Unverified reports from channels actively tracking this case claim Khapri Alston was shot as many as 25 times. 25. That is not a street argument that got out of hand. That is not panic. If that number holds up, someone wanted to make absolutely certain Khapri never got up from that pavement. This wasn't random. This was targeted, intentional, personal. And somewhere inside Dalton's political machine, someone may know exactly why it happened. If you've never thought about what it looks like when money quietly outranks justice, subscribe right now. This channel covers the stories the system quietly hopes you forget. And if you still won't hit that button, drop a comment below and tell me honestly, how many politically connected killers need to walk free before you decide it's worth paying attention?
I can't even begin to tell you how I'm feeling.
According to Dalton police, the father of two was shot and killed late Thursday night near East 115th Street and South Martin Luther King Drive.
And so we're crushed, we're devastated. We can't even believe that this happened because Khapri was so well loved and liked, not only in Chicago, but across the state, across this United States. He went everywhere, played basketball, had an amazing career overseas, high school. So there's a lot of people that are devastated, and we're just crushed right now. We can't believe this happened.
Family says Alston had been at the Rucker Cigar Lounge with his girlfriend when some type of confrontation happened. Moments later, gunfire broke out. His father says they believe they know who the shooter is.
This young man, to my understanding, has political ties in Dalton, and not only have shown political ties, but a lot of businesses, and we just don't want his political ties and his money to influence where this is swept under the rug. And it's just, my son is just not he's not going to be a casualty. We want justice for our son. He's not going to be somebody's number that's filed away. There's an unsolved murder.
Investigators have yet to release any details regarding what exactly led up to the shooting or who the shooter is.
Yeah, he was my best man.
Loved ones describe Alston as a talented basketball player, a devoted father of two young children, and someone who was deeply loved by his family and friends.
He loved basketball. He was just, ever since the ball touched his hand, he just always was a kid that he just loved basketball. He just wanted to play basketball. And he just wanted to just be a dad. Basketball and be a dad. That's all he wanted to do. Nothing more, nothing less.
Alston's family is pleading for answers and a full investigation. And they have a message for the shooter.
You'd have had to kill my son. You'd have had to kill him. You'd have had to kill him. You didn't have to kill him. This could have been resolved easily. Should have just walked away. Everybody should have just walked away. He didn't have to kill my son.
To understand why this family is genuinely terrified, you need to understand exactly where this happened. Dalton, Illinois is a south suburban municipality sitting just outside Chicago. And for years, it has been at the center of some of the most thoroughly documented local government corruption in the entire state. Here's the part that should stop you cold. The Rucker Cigar Lounge, the exact venue outside which Khapri Alston was shot, was itself the subject of a federal civil rights lawsuit filed in April 2022. Case number 122CV-01769, filed in the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Illinois. Rucker Holdings, Inc. sued the Village of Dalton, Mayor Tiffany Henyard, Administrator Keith Freeman, and Building Permits Director Samisha Williams. The allegations were brutal. The lawsuit claimed Mayor Henyard and her close allies deliberately withheld business permits, certificates of occupancy, and operating licenses from Rucker Holdings. The reason? The owners refused to make campaign contributions to Henyard's political funds. Municipal building directors testified in depositions that they were explicitly ordered to harass Rucker's businesses, issue arbitrary fines, block development plans, drag them through endless court dates specifically designed to drain their resources. Now sit with this for a moment. A federal lawsuit already exposed systematic corruption inside Dalton's own administration. Khapri's murder happened outside the exact business at the center of that lawsuit. The suspect allegedly has deep ties to that same municipal network, and the local police who answer to that very administration have gone completely silent on a murder case. That is not coincidence you just walk past. The Alston family isn't only grieving. They are fighting a system with documented, court-filed receipts of protecting the powerful. And they need people outside Dalton to see what's happening. Because if they can do this to a man who played basketball in front of thousands of people across 6 countries, they can do it to anyone. Anyone, including someone you love.
Police in Dalton have someone in custody in connection with a deadly shooting that took the life of a former high school basketball standout. And tonight we're hearing from the father of Khapri Alston, mourning his son's death and looking for justice.
Just trying to figure out, why. And, that question keeps just replaying over and over in my head, trying to figure out why.
Khapri Alston was shot and killed during an argument with a man outside a business on MLK Jr. Drive. His father, Pastor Khapri Alston, has a church in Georgia, but is in our area tonight. He tells us what happened.
Scuffle ensued. They started fighting, and my understanding that I noticed, this is what I'm hearing, that he ran and got a gun, shot my son once, and then came and stood over him and shot him twice.
Pastor Alston says his son was a star basketball player at Thornwood High School in South Holland. He went on to play pro ball overseas before retiring a few years ago.
He was a former Thornwood High School basketball standout. He was a person who just loved life, loved basketball.
Alston was a father of 2 children, a son and daughter. He leaves them behind along with his mother and father and 5 siblings.
Khapri's sister, Natalie Alston, took to social media almost immediately. Raw posts, public grief, unfiltered pain shared for the world to see, because sometimes a family's only remaining platform is the internet when every institution has already failed them. Pastor Khapri Alston, a man who spent years rebuilding his life from nothing, is now channeling everything he has left into demanding accountability for his son. He is publicly calling for external agencies, specifically the Cook County Sheriff's Department and the Illinois State Police, to step in and take full control of this investigation. Because this family no longer trusts local Dalton police to run a case involving a suspect who allegedly has political pull inside that very department. Khapri left behind 2 children, a son, a daughter. Kids who are going to grow up knowing their father through stories, highlight reels, and the memories of people whose lives he touched across 6 continents. That is the part that stays with you long after this video ends. Now, I promised you something at the end of Chapter 1. Your safety tips for high-risk public confrontations. 1. If a verbal argument starts turning physical, your only objective is to exit, not win, not have the last word. Get out. 2. Never assume the other person is unarmed. Not ever. 3. The moment you walk into any public venue, identify your nearest exits. Make it a habit. 4. Walking away from a fight you didn't start is not weakness. It is the smartest decision in that room. These tips will never make headlines, but they might keep you out of one. Now, if this story moved you, if it made you angry, if you found yourself holding your phone tighter somewhere in Chapter 3, this channel is exactly why you subscribe. Not for content, for awareness. For the stories that powerful people are actively hoping disappear quietly. To Khapri's children, his mother, his father, Pastor Khapri, his siblings, and every person who cheered for him from Argentina to the United Kingdom, we see you, we hear you. And this channel will keep talking about Khapri Alston until the system gives his family the one thing it still owes them. A name, a charge, and justice that actually means something. Rest easy, Khapri. To everyone who made it to the end, thank you for watching, for your attention, and for joining us on this journey of reflection. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and above all, stay safe. See you on our next video.